Hey guys, Ryan here, Espey's Gym. If you've been paying attention to the series so far, you'll know that this is the day two of my training cycle. Third video in the series, and today is just a hand and wrist routine that I like to do. You know, just watch it, man. You'll get it. Some of the exercises are just for overall hand strength and a little bit of fun. Some of them make a lot of sense for arm wrestling, and I won't even edit this part. I'll just cut right into the video. The first exercise I'm gonna do is it's a wrist upward curl like this, holding it static, but curling that wrist up with a rope over your knuckles. Demonstration purposes, and I'll do around 20 to 25 reps with this, really trying to work those tendons in the wrist. And it's just curling the wrist up like this. 3 sets of this, first exercise in the workout. Okay, switching arms obviously. And then the next exercise, 3 sets, downward. Same concept, opposite direction. For those of you who know about the biomechanics of the sport of arm wrestling, you can relate to how each of these exercises is applicable in the sport. So there it is, there's the first 6 sets of the workout. 3 sets up, 3 sets down, on to the next one. Hey guys, sorry about the camera angle. This is the Gaspari armbar, the monster one that I made. A lot heavier than the traditional one that was made back in the, whatever it was, the 90s I guess. And you're going to do 3 sets of this to failure. So for all intents and purposes, or for the purpose of showing you this exercise, no weight, just so you can see it's a standard wrist curl. When I do my wrist curls though, my forearms are on a 45-degree angle. You don't want them to be flat, because then the top of the movement becomes unloaded, alright? So you're doing 3 sets of this, okay, to failure, whatever that takes, over 25 reps preferably, really get a good burn going in your forearms. And then I'm going to do, just to balance it out, after those 3 sets, 1 set of reverse wrist curls, to failure. Now if you are loading up weight on this bar for the standard wrist curls, you're going to probably want to remove some of that, because generally you're not going to be as strong doing a reverse wrist curl. I do this a lot just because of injury prevention. Hey guys, sorry about the camera angle again. Sometimes you got to do a little bit weird just to get it all in here, but 3 different styles of pinch block. Okay, pinch grip. Okay, first one's a thick block. 3 sets, it's a static hold, okay, to failure, which means it falls out of your hand when you're done. Sometimes it goes flying, that's okay. Second one, 3 sets, it's a thin pinch block, and I'm doing 2-handed. You can of course do 1. It's all depending on what equipment you have available to you. Alright? And again, to failure. So obviously some of these exercises will require a little more weight than the last. And the third and final, 3 sets of the hub pinch. Okay? All good stuff for hand strength. Like so. Okay, the last thing I do, guys, is just a few sets for fun, just to overload. And it's a fat dumbbell hold. The goal is for it to pull out of your hand and those muscles and tendons to hit failure. Okay? So I'll normally load some weight on this thing and just hold it for time. Okay? And the goal is just to overload, and that's just for fun. Now you can make one of these in many different ways. This one is steel, so that one's going to be a little tougher, but I've done everything in the past from duct tape to electrical tape with a piece of ABS or PVC pipe over top. Be creative. You can make a lot of this stuff at home. You don't have to pay hundreds of dollars to buy it off the internet, but hey, if you got the money, there's worse things you can spend it on. Now, instead of shooting an entire video for my day 3 of training, I'll just explain it to you. Maybe I'm getting a little lazy with these, but you know, instead of, you guys don't need to see what a deadlift is. You know what a deadlift is. You don't need to see what a bench press is. So in no particular order, meaning that Just because they're written on the page this way, I might switch it up. Depends how I feel. If my back's a little tight, I might push rack pulls to the end. You know, rack pull being a deadlift that's just a little bit higher, just enough clearance to slip the plates on and off. So I'll do in this workout, in no particular order, remember, on day 3, 2 sets of rack pull, 2 sets of shrugs with dumbbells. Sometimes I'll substitute upright row, 2 sets of lat pull down, and I will stay in the range that I would think is optimal for arm wrestling. 2 sets bench press, 2 sets incline press, 2 sets behind the neck military press. Now be careful with that one, because you can get injured when you're doing anything behind the neck, but I also feel that it's the only exercise that's a pressing movement that hits all heads of the shoulder. So that's why I like that one. I typically will go a little higher reps just to be safe. I'll do a bent over lateral raise with dumbbells, narrow grip bench press, tricep press down, and then I'll do a finisher. The finisher could be anything from clean and press to power cleans, something like that. But it's kind of a catch-all, and it kind of treats the rest of your body as accessory work, and it's not necessarily directly related to arm wrestling. In fact, if you talk to the guy that many consider, and myself included, the best in the world, if you saw his last WAL video, he does not do traditional lifts like bench press or deadlift or things like that. He only does partial movements for arm wrestling, and that works for him. But I still feel like I need to get everything hit to make sure everything's strong and I don't have a weak link somewhere along the way. So if you guys have any questions, post them in the comments down below. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and if you have any questions, I'll answer those in the Q&A section. But I hope to hear from everybody soon.